In this video, you're going to learn the best placement for your blush, your highlighter, and your contour. And this is gonna be super easy. I want you to be able to do this in like less than 2 minutes. So if you've got only 10 minutes to get ready in the morning, you can still have that sculpted look without wasting time. I'm gonna be using the Flower Beauty Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette. Now, what I love about this is the colors are really flattering for fairer skin. Now, a lot of contour palettes that exist are too dark for me. They look really orange and they're just not as complimentary. Now, my complaint about Flower Beauty is while these colors I believe are going to be beautiful for my complexion, they only have one that's a little bit darker, so it's not gonna cover as many people as possible. But I do like this style contour kit because when you have a contour kit and it has light and dark colors, you're only gonna use the colors that suit for you, so you end up wasting your money. This was, I think, like 15 bucks, and I'm gonna use all 3 of these, so let's get to it. I like to apply my contour first. I know people usually do light to dark and they'll do blush or contour or highlight then, and everyone has their own techniques, but for me, when it comes to sculpting, I like to create the shadow and then go from there. So when we're doing our contour is gonna go below our bone. So I want you to feel around your own bone structure, find your cheekbones. My cheekbone's right here. Right underneath my cheekbone is right there. Under your bone is where you wanna put your contour. On the bone is where you want to put your blush, and above the bone is where you want to put your highlighter. So it's basically, think of like Neapolitan ice cream. You have your vanilla highlight, your strawberry blush, and your chocolate contour. Doesn't matter what face shape you have, you apply this way, you're going to look great. So I'm going in with my contour. I'm using a fan brush from Crown. This is one of my favorite brushes to contour with because it just fits nicely into that pocket. And I did swatch these colors, but I haven't tried it on myself yet, so this is gonna be my first time. Now, when I'm going underneath the bone, I wanna use my tragus, which is this part of the ear, as a guide. I'm going to go there, and I'm gonna stop here. You don't wanna go past your eye. Listen up, I'm gonna repeat that because it's super important for you to pay attention. So if you're multitasking, come back to me. You're going to put your contour here and not go past your eye. You only wanna focus in this area. Do not bring it all the way down to your lip. That is not going to be complimentary. Focus just in here. So I'm going to start by my tragus right here, and I'm going to pull forward in a one directional blend. Okay, that is very light. Let me go in and get a little bit more on my brush. So I'm just going to focus on it right here. All right, there we go. Ooh, that is a nice color. So when you're contouring, if you want to contour and just create sculpt, you want to go with something that's only going to be a little bit darker than you and is a skin tone color. For me, it's gonna be mainly cooler. And in general, you want your contour color to be your cooler tone because it's a shadow of your face. Now, don't get me wrong, if you love a bronzer look, go ahead and contour with your bronzer. There's nothing wrong with that, just make sure that it's matte. After all, makeup is about what you like, not what everyone else says. So keep on using bronzer if it's your friend. So you just need to go right in this little area and then blend it up towards your temple. If it goes a little bit lower, like here, it looks a little low, so I'm gonna take a clean powder brush that doesn't really have any product on it, and I'm just gonna soften that line. A lot of times you see people take their setting powder and do baking underneath this line. I'm never gonna tell you to bake on this channel or in any of my classes ever, so I'm just applying right there. I like that, that's a good shade. Doesn't make me look ashy. And when I look forward, here, let me look at you instead of the mirror, you can see automatically the definition that I'm getting. It's always really hard for me to find good contouring colors, and if you're fair like me, you understand the struggle. So I'm really loving this. When it comes to blush, there are a lot of different placements that you can put your blush. But again, for today's video, I'm focusing on just something that's super basic and easy for you to do every day. So for the blush, I'm just gonna go now on top of my cheekbone. So it's gonna be right here. I know sometimes you'll hear people say do a Nike swoop, or you'll hear people say focus on the apples of their cheek. But today, with the way that I'm applying it, this is more of a sculpted technique, which the name of this is Sculpted and Lift Palette, and that's what we're doing here. And just so you know, contouring is a sculpting technique. It is not an actual product itself. Like, this is a sculpting kit because you're gonna use these 3 to create definition to your face shape. You know, when people say bronzer is a color, not a technique. Contouring is the technique. And I have a whole video on this that I'll put in the description box below so you can learn more. So I'm taking my blush brush. This is a Crown C522. I like that it's angled because it fits perfectly on my cheekbones. So I loaded it up with the blush And like for contouring, we started at our ear and pull forward. We're gonna do the opposite for blush. For the blush, we're gonna start on our cheekbones right here and we're gonna pull up. When you pull up like this, you're getting that lift to your face. So you can see if I'm looking forward at you, start here on the apple, give it a little shake right there, and then pull on up, and you're gonna lift your whole cheekbone. You can see by that placement, everything here is going up, and this is just more natural. Now that we've done the chocolate and strawberry, we're going to do our vanilla, which is my favorite part, the highlighter. So the highlight goes above the bone. So remember, blush right here on the bone, contour below the bone. Now the the highlight, we're putting above the bone, and that is a highlight. That is way more intense than I thought it was gonna be, and I am definitely not mad at it. If you are worried about wrinkles or lines around your eye area, you can see here's where all my expression lines are. So I'm just not going all the way up to there, but I will stay in this area, creating a little bit of a C and getting all the glow. If all else fails and you're like, where do I put my blush, highlight, and contour? Just remember Neapolitan ice cream. Vanilla as the highlight, above your cheekbone, strawberry is your blush, on your cheekbone, and contour is your chocolate, just below your cheekbone. And there you have it. In less than 2 minutes, you'll be sculpted and contoured, my friend.